All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, what I do as a spiritual healer is that I help you to become Christ like, I help you to become Buddha like, Krishna like. And what that simply means is that I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. That's truly what that is. Now, when it comes to attaining your highest level of consciousness, you would have to become in alignment with yourself, meaning your emotions and your intellect must become one. In other words, they must be in accordance, in harmony, and each department should be balanced. Because when you're talking about attaining the highest level of consciousness, and if you know and understand anything about you, then you understand sometimes when you're being too emotional, you don't get to see the full picture. And vice versa, if you choose to be too intellect, because most people, this is the mistake that most people do, they're saying your emotions is holding you down, so as a result, they think they have to suppress their emotions, to be in control or to see things in a better light. That's also another mistake because at this point, what you're truly doing is, first of all, if you truly understand what I just said in terms of the minute you suppress your emotions, that's the recipe for toxicity right then and there. Because you'll see people who are truly toxic people or people who have not acknowledged their emotions. They suppress it. So that's for one. Now for two, then again you become very rigid. I mean, the same predicament that you are, let's just say, when we notice that somebody who's being too emotional, you could see how they don't see certain things in front of them. And ironically, this is also revealing your true nature. It's also revealing how you truly see things. You see things or reality through your inner vision. Like the way I would look at life has to do with the way that I see myself or the understanding that I have of self. Meaning, if I look at this life only from a material perspective, then everything that I do is going to reflect that. Do you see what I'm saying? Just like they say, if you think money's everything, then you'll do everything for money. But if you think money's not everything, and not just a thought, but a level of understanding, you're not going to do everything for money. But anyway, I'm saying all of that to say, to show you that your vision, how you see life, has to do with it's your inner vision. And that's the true vision you need to develop for you to see clarity or to see clearly. Now, to attain that level of, let's just say, to truly develop your inner vision, now your emotions and your intellect must come together. The minute you suppress your emotions, you become too intellect. What you're truly doing is you become very rigid. And just like the person who's being too emotional does not have the ability to see certain things, well, you become the same thing too. Because adding a little bit of emotion into your intellect allow you to be more relatable to others, allows you to see the things that are a little bit closer to you that you otherwise wouldn't see. Like I always tell you guys, that's the whole, when the prostitute was brought to Jesus, the whole idea of that, when Jesus said whichever one, I'm saying, of you guys who does not sin to throw the first stone, it was trying to get you to touch your emotions. Yes, you do have the intellect aspect of it, but now how does the emotion comes in? Because with your emotions now, you able to relate to others. You don't step on people's toes. So to see or to attain your highest level of consciousness, both of those part of you have to become in alignment. You have to become mentally and emotionally balanced for you to attain the highest level of consciousness. Or another way of saying that, for you to become Christ like, Buddha like, Krishna like, whatever the fuck like. So that's what I help you with. So now, what do I mean by being emotionally balanced? What that simply means at this point is for you to understand your emotions. Because you're dealing with energy, but to understand the message that is being conveyed in whatever type of emotions that you are going through. The ability to understand that, to understand your emotional patterns, then at this point, then you'll have the ability to remove any emotional blockages that you may have. So being emotionally balanced has nothing to do with, let's just say, you know how some people will tell you not to raise your voice, you somehow in better control. Do you see what I'm saying? Or not to show anger. All of that shit is bullshit when it comes to it, because you could perfectly show anger and be emotionally balanced. That's what you saw, if you know anything about the Bible, when Jesus went into the temple and was chasing these motherfuckers out. Oh, he was emotionally well fucking balanced. So that has nothing to do with raising your voice, not raising your voice. If anything, that type of behavior, it's more of, I mean, it's exactly what that is. It's a behavior. You know, for the most part, people use it to appear something that they're not, to mask who they are. So, being emotionally balanced strictly has to do with you understanding your emotions and understanding those emotional messages. And then at this point, if there's any blockages, you have the ability to remove it. Then now you become the alchemist, you become the master of your emotions. Or, as they say, you become emotionally intelligent. There is such a thing. Now, to talk about mentally balanced, it's the same underlying or baseline understanding here. It's you at this point understanding how your intellect works, how your mind works, how is it being shaped, how is society, and for you to understand everything you come in contact with, you having a relationship with that. Because now what you're doing is, how do you relate? How do you relate to your school? Those type of relationships, how are they shaping you? How is your culture shaping you? You know, and now once you understand that, you have the ability now to, let's just say, to bypass those dogmas or those intellectual masturbation bullshit. The society, dogmas and all that bullshit. Then when you understand it, now you have the ability to see clearer or to see on a higher perspective. And the idea here is never, let's just say, when you understand how the government, you're dealing with all of those different entities, your relationship with all of that. It's not for you to go out there and march and do some dumb shit, but it's for your personal understanding and triumph. So, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what I do. And that's what it means for you to become Christ like, to attain your highest level of consciousness. The whole idea of mind, body, and soul, all of that has to come together. And that's pretty much what I help you with. Now, damn man, my speaker's been tripping. But hopefully you guys should be able to hear me, or maybe I may need to get a little bit closer. Now, if you're coming back, you already know what we do here. It's exactly what this is. This is the living experience where we all get to, share, life and breathe life into one another. That's what we do here, because we understand the spirit gives life. It's to give you that discernment, for you to see beyond the veil. But anyway, you already know. Welcome back. We're gonna get right into it. Now, as part of my routine, if this is your first time or if you're coming back, this is where I get to tell you a little bit about spirituality. Now, spirituality is the very foundation of what I'm doing here. The message that I'm conveying to you guys is out of spirituality. And what that means pretty much, it's the story, it's spirituality is giving you the state of us, of humanity. It's recorded in different let's just say sacred text. It's being said in many different ways, but ultimately what this is all showing you is talking about you, your essence, how you work. I'll give you a perfect example. In spirituality, will tell you you think like your God or you act like your God. So you can clearly see this is not a belief system. This is more of a practical understanding of who we are. Regardless of which God you choose to believe in, you're going to be a reflection of that. If right now I choose to become a 7 day Adventist, my reality is going to change. My Saturday now is going to change. Because now I'm walking in accordance to what my God tells me. So I become a reflection of that. That's what the Buddhists do. That's what Christianity do. That's what everything. In fact, when you understand Christianity, there's no. I mean, man. I mean, it's no wonder why Christianity is used as a way to control other people, because there's no other belief system, because the truth cannot harm the truth, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? The truth is not going to hurt another truth. That's why wisdom is wisdom regardless of where you come from. The whole thing, even about God, Jesus, however the fuck you want to look at it, the idea is not to have just a belief, it's the living experience. It's the transformation that is partaken into your life. That's why the words got to be, has to become flesh. What that is saying is, it's the materialization of that knowledge, of that understanding. And again, this is what spirituality is doing. It's revealing your nature to you. Then now, when you become aware of these things, then now you become born twice. Because you're no longer looking at your physical body as just, the way that you identify yourself. But now you also know, be, beyond this, or in addition to your body, you have a subconscious mind. Or in addition to your mind, you have a subconscious mind. And that's pretty much what the occult now is dealing with. Those sacred texts, those hermetic texts. And you'll see there's always something hidden, there's always something hermetic, always. And what is that referring to is the knowledge, it's the esoteric aspect of it. It's the things that you don't see. And that knowledge, that understanding now, it's making you becoming aware of these things. That's why in the occult you're dealing with the hidden culture. It requires for you to go within. You gotta know to become the Gnostics, the knower. Then now you have the occult, which is also part of spirituality, that is dealing with those sacred texts, giving you a deeper understanding of who you are. That's why if you know anything about, if this is your first time, if you're getting into spirituality, some of the occult book will let you know some of the basics is that you have a subconscious mind that is under your mind that must be awakened. In fact, that is you that you're not even aware of. That's why your subconscious mind is more conscious than your conscious mind. So when you're truly talking about your conscious mind, it's really your subconscious mind. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But the bottom line of what I'm trying to tell you here is to show you what spirituality is and how the occult now, which is also part of spirituality, how they come together. But most importantly, what they are. So now, when we're going back to the point I was making about spirituality, this is the only religion. You'll notice. Do you notice every other religion talk of Jesus? Why the fuck not? And it doesn't even matter if he existed or not. But the truth that is being spoken, and in fact, that's what we're going to be talking about. Those spiritual languages, those deeply philosophical rooted not spiritual knowledge. But now going back to Christianity, when you understand that, even in voodoo, we talk about Jesus, we acknowledge Jesus. Why the fuck not? He's such a great man. But now to say this is the only truth and nothing else is true. I mean, how do you separate the truth, man? Like from the truth. The truth doesn't harm another truth. So that's why the agenda behind Christianity is to convert you into their God. Well, if the purpose is to have that living experience, I should need to be converted into your God. If anything, your God should help me to better understand my God. But again, I'm trying to get you to see the knowledge that is being spread or the instructions that are being, said in spirituality. And this is what I mean in Christianity. No wonder why that religion is actually used to conquer you. Because it's not necessary. I mean, it isn't concerned with the truth, but now it's concerned with what you believe in and make you a believer just like them. And that's the tool that was used to get you to convert you. This is why Christianity is but when you listen to everything else, the Buddhists, the fucking Hinduism, the Bhagavad Gita, Voodoo, um, whatever the fuck, the Gnostics, um, uh, the Masons. Excuse me, babe. What's up? I'm live. I'm live. I'm actually recording now. You gotta talk fast to me. What's up? Okay. Excuse me. Excuse myself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, even in voodoo, like, yeah, we acknowledge Christ, man. Of course you got to. Why the fuck not? And everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jesus tell you, you are the way, I am the way, the path. Only through me can you go to God. I mean, how can you deny that? But now you just need to have the proper understanding of what this is saying, though. Because when you understand what the Christ is all about, it's a fucking it's a level it's a level of I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. But anyway, let me just say this. It's a energetic, it's a level of vibration. It's a level of enlightenment. That's why Jesus the Nazareth has to become Jesus the Christ or Jesus Christ, the anointed one. He had to become born again. He went through the path to show you you are the way. Nothing is done without you. Like God wouldn't mean nothing if you don't accept it. So you are the truth. That's truly what it comes down to. Regardless of what you do, that's why life is what you make it. You are the truth. When you truly understand it, you are the way. And without you, you're never going to get to God. So that is true. And for me, how can I deny that? How can I refute that? That's why for me, once you understand who you are too, I'm not associated with none of it. But yet, I'm all of them. I'm a Buddhist. I'm a Christian, like the true Gnostics, the true understanding. You know what I'm saying? Not the agenda that's behind it. That's why I speak of anything. I cross reference. You know what I mean? I mean, it's all talking about the same thing when you know it. When you know what this is. Like what Jesus is to you, that's what Muhammad is to the fucking Islam niggas. So does it matter if the Bible, like, what facts do you have about the Bible? The letters kills anyway. Isn't it? Doesn't your Bible tell you that the letters kills? Now, if the letters kills, like, it's the understanding that's going to change everything. And the way I've been looking at things, and that's why you have to bring life into the letters. And that's where the esoteric knowledge comes in to help you to tap into you, to awaken, that consciousness within you. That level of understanding. Now, when you read the word, now you're making sense out of it. In other words, you're breathing life into it. And that's what you see with the fucking Bible. That's why a lot of you motherfuckers don't fucking get it. I'm looking at the whole Billy Carson shit. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, how do y'all motherfuckers went so left? Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Then you have now motherfuckers who are criticizing this nigga, trying to talk about the facts, the true, the intellectual masturbation, which will lead you to nowhere, but referring to text, to intelligence, but no actual living experience. Again, intellectual masturbation. That's where those debates comes in. It's entertainment. I don't know, but anyway, I the spirituality I know, man, it's something you have to experience. It's for you to actually become the Christ yourself. But anyway, The truth is the truth, man. The truth never harm another truth. Never does. And if you truly understand that, that's why for me, I embrace them. I embrace all of them. And yet, I'm part of, I'm all of them and without being none of them. Because I have the proper understanding. But anyway, just for me to wrap it up real quick when we're talking about spirituality, it's just giving you a deeper understanding of you. And it's being said in so many different ways. That's why when you understand mythology, then you understand this is the highest form of mind control. And that's what you see with your Jesus. With what this is what Christianity. Listen, I mean, free game. I'm not. This is a dead horse. I don't even need to. Yeah. I mean, if you don't, I don't know. Like I don't know what else to tell you at this point. This is given. But again, this is for your personal development. It's not for you to go out there fuck Christianity. No, 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 no. It's your personal development for you to see the truth to go beyond. In fact, that's why, like, if you tell me fuck Jesus, nigga, I'm supporting you in Jesus. I'm all about Jesus because I know who the true Jesus is. You're looking at him. And that's why later on, I'm going to show you when we talk about those spiritual languages, which are pretty much, I'm referring to those deep philosophical rooted spiritual knowledge. It's simply, your consciousness. It's the unfoldment of your consciousness. And I'll get to show you how when you grow spiritually, then now you're gonna sound just like Jesus. Understandably. Oh, that's what Jesus was saying. When you awaken, when Jesus told you to turn the other cheek, he's not talking about, what I'm saying, a physical somebody smacking. Nah. Look at it from a different perspective. Life gives you lemon, nigga, make lemonade. That's you turning the other cheek. You're looking at it from a different perspective. When you're in trouble, or when, let's just say, things are not working out the way you would like them to be, turn the other cheek. Look at it from a different perspective. That's all the shit's telling you. Can you see why now the letters kills? That's why you need to have the intelligence for you to decipher it. In other words, you bring life into it. But anyway, just to wrap it up, when it comes down to spirituality, it's your life. It's your regular life. It's you walking around taking a shit, scratching your ass, or you know what I'm saying? It's all of us. That's why when you truly get to understand your essence, then you know your spirit. This is not a philosophy. The life of any fucking man or woman, as a man thinketh, is based on your inner vision. This is not a practical. This is not. I'm sorry. This is not a fucking philosophical or some intellectual masturbation shit. You know what I'm saying? To show how much you know about the text. Again, you're approaching it from a logical perspective, and you're missing the whole life in it. So sad. How your knowledge, you being blinded by your own fucking knowledge. I'll give you the knowledge that sets you free. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit's crazy. But and so I'm saying that to say that's why when we talk about spirituality, it's not religion. It's not just a way of believing in things, but it's to look at the bigger picture. That's why spirituality embodies it all. And one of the biggest fucking misconception people have about spirituality is that they think it's outside of you. You can identify yourself with it, obviously, because you don't know who you are. It's out of ignorance. That's why the people who become spiritual, those are the people who start to know, they know themselves on a deeper level. Then now you understand you need to meditate. You need to open up your third eye. You know why? That's because that's how you become more receptive to energy and intelligence. So you can have those aha moments. That's how you grow. That's how you become more knowledgeable. Now, when you're using meditation, now it's helping you to expand that consciousness of yours. That's why it's better to do these things. Again, those are practical matter. Those are practical shit. It's a living experience. But anyway, spirituality is nothing but your regular life. It's the understanding of that. Then now you're dealing with the occult that is dealing with the esoteric, which is the knowledge that cannot be taken for face value. Just like when Jesus tell you when you get slapped on one cheek, you turn the other cheek. This is not be to be taken literally. That's what makes it an esoteric knowledge. And it has to be said in those parables. I mean, parable, or it has to be said in those ways because there's something powerful in it. That's how it helps you to awaken that dormant side of you. That's why when it comes to the power of words, it's not what you say that makes it powerful, but it's how you say whatever the fuck you're trying to say. That's why us priests, or the true Illuminatis, what that means is the true illuminated ones, the bright ones, the Christ ones, because we have acknowledged and seen the light in us. Now you become that lining, like now you become the light of the world. Again, these are practical shit. It has nothing to do with fucking Christianity, but the truth is the truth. A truth never harm another truth. So how do you go like fuck Buddha? It's all about Jesus when the truth is the truth, regardless of how you look at it. And by the way, Buddha simply means to wake up, to be awake, or to wake up. How same shit. Mm. So again, spirituality is a practical matter. Now, with all of that being said, it's a living experience. It's revealing your own story, and also giving you the manuscript or the manual for you to actually thrive. And this is what our ancestors did for us. This is those books that was left for us, that was written by our ancestors. Those were the words that was passed down from generation to generation. Then that's why I always acknowledge my ancestors, and they are you, you are them. The whole idea of Jesus already died for you. You just need to acknowledge him or to accept him for you to find eternal life. Well, look around you. Everything's already done. Everything's already being said. It's already there. You got to wake up to the truth. You have to accept it. That's all that means. And that's what happens for all of us. And that's why this is not a philosophical bullshit. This is not for up for debate. This is just what it is. This is a living experience. That's why words cannot express this. That's why this experience, you cannot approach it academically. Trust me. And this is a guy who read a lot of books. You cannot approach it academically. Sorry, Johnny. It's not the way it works. So, now that's that. Now let's get into what we came here to talk about. Now, the spiritual languages. Now, let's just go back to, let's just say, when Jesus said, to turn your other cheek. Now you understand the deeper meaning of that. But now, what you're also going to understand, it's almost the same thing. You know how they say you don't treat evil with evil. You don't. This is not to be nice. This is not, to when they go low, when they go high, you go higher, or they go low, you go high. I mean, all of that sounds good, but that's not the reason why you don't do that. Just like if I were to tell you not to argue, you don't cast your pearls before swine. You don't argue with fools. This is not something to say to sound smart, but when you say it, it's a level of understanding. That is. Meaning I understand the level where you are. You'll never get what I'm saying if you don't get it. Because you are the way, you are the truth. Do you see what I'm saying? When you see it that way, that's why you don't argue with fools. Or you don't argue with a baby. Or are you going to argue with a kid who doesn't have the same level of understanding as you do? Again, those are level of understanding. You don't treat evil by being evil yourself. You don't. If you do, you automatically become evil too. But to neutralize it, you have to be you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like they tell you the best revenge you can ever do. Let's just say if people don't want you to actually succeed, you just go for your success, baby. Oh, me, I'm shitting on them. They can't stop me nothing. They're trying though. Ironically, by them trying to stop me, they're stopping their own self. But they can't see it though. Do you see what I'm saying? How can you argue with fools? That's blasphemy. But I'm saying that to say, so when you hear those, let's just say those deeply philosophical shit that comes out of Jesus' mouth or Buddha's mouth, whoever the fuck who's saying whatever the fuck that they're saying, those are a level of understanding. It's a level of consciousness that is being revealed as you understand it. That's why when you partake in Christ consciousness, you're going to sound just like him. What I'm saying by that is, when you understand the same thing that Jesus understood, for lack of a better term, then you became on the same frequency as him, then you also became Christ-like. Then at this point, we all going to sound the same. Although if you were to repeat anything that he did say, but if you would be repeating that understandably. So those spiritual languages, they are not dogmas. They are not there to put you in a cage. They are there to set you free. And as you elevated your consciousness, your mind, your understanding, then you become that too. And that's what I meant by partaking in the Christ. And that's what Jesus tells you too. Whoever, like, that's the whole communion. It's a representation of you embodying that understanding. That's why his flesh become your flesh. His blood, you drink it. It's a ritual reflecting you embody that consciousness. And as you do so, you're going to sound like him. You're going to speak like him. And this is also why you have to materialize. That's why to say or talk about Jesus means nothing. Unless if you're living it. It means nothing. But living it, it's a living experience. Then now you became the Christ. Then now you acting the way he was acting. Then now you're doing everything that he was doing. Again, this is a living experience. Do you see what I'm saying? And when you truly embrace the life that is in life, or in those words, man, you become that. So I guess the true point that I really wanted to make, and I wanted that for you to take that home with you, is that those let's just say spiritual languages or knowledge are not dogmas. Now there's a difference. Then now you also need to know the spiritual laws. Now that's a little bit different, and those are not dogmas neither. But what they are is they're just there are things that are telling you this is how. I mean, those laws or codes or keys for you to open up certain doors. You want love? Love yourself. Do the things that you love, then you'll find somebody who loves you because they're gonna love you through what you're doing, which is going to reveal you. You do what you love, you find the one that loves you. Again, these are level of understanding, but this is also a law too. Once you understand it, then that's what those spiritual laws are all about. As it is within, so it is without. That's why I strongly recommend you guys to learn about the Kabbalion, who's teaching you, is truly taught, telling you about self mastery by helping you to understand your environment. And when you master those laws, then you master yourself, you master your destiny. Oh my God. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So there's these spiritual languages are not dogmas. What you see, that's like when you look at the Bible and other books too, right? Over time, that's why I always tell people you cannot approach this with academically, because that's what you see. The new religion, the new age, or whatever the fuck is happening with religion, it's approaching it academically. Then now you have those dogmas, you have those, you know what I'm saying, you know what they are. Those shit, like the things that you should be living by. Now, it becomes a behavior based type of thing instead of you. And this is in very essence, that's what the Matrix is. That's how a lot of you guys are worshiping idols, because you don't worship you. It's blasphemy. How do you see God if you don't go through you? Because it's a personal experience. That's why we are all witnesses of God. My experience of God, like, I can only share my experience with you as you can share yours with me. Or as you see the way I'm living. Because and by the way, that's the meaning of a true religion or a true religious man. Is a man of God. You know, that's why for me, God over everything. I breathe it, I shit it, because I know what it's like. I know my elevation. I can only thrive through God. And that's why you got to be careful too. You better choose your own God too. Because the wrong God will fuck you up and put you in a box. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, Christianity is for you. I mean, not just Christianity, spirituality. It's to help you to find you. Not comparing and contrasting. Not to say this is better than that one. No, 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 no. In fact, that's why for me, I embrace all of them because you realize there's a certain perspective that I love when the Buddhists say certain things, and there's certain things when Jesus said them too, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That moves me. Like again, the truth do not harm another truth. They sharpen each other up. Jesus' truth, if you into voodoo, should let you love, should allow you to love voodoo even more. Or if you're Buddhist, should for you to embrace your Buddhism even more. Because the truth does not harm another one. It doesn't. So when you understand all of that, then you know this is a living experience. And I don't think I'll never say that enough until you understand it. To be a man of God is to live your life in accordance to those principles. It's to be devoted to God. That's why this is not a Sunday thing. Oh no, 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 sir or ma'am. This is not a Sunday or Saturday thing. If that's what it is for you, you missed the whole point. Then this is dogmas. Then you following whatever like behavior. You behaving a certain way. When the Buddhist talks about, us being, I mean, the priest. I'm sorry, the true masters, us being, or holding the mirror of wisdom. Oh my God, like this is beautiful, and that's what Jesus did. It was through him holding that mirror of wisdom that we were able to see. That's how he was making those miracles. He was giving sights to the blinds. So again, all of this, it's the spiritual languages. It comes with a level of consciousness. They are not dogmas. They're not just things that are being said or being thrown around like that. No, 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 no. Those are level of understanding. This is your consciousness unfolding itself. And as you do so, then you're gonna become that, whichever that it is. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why when you understand your nature, it's like it's either you are in your own way, or you become the way. But either or, you are the truth, and you are the way. If you don't accept your higher self, guess who has not accepted? It's you. So that's why the yin and the yang, the whole aspect, the harmony, the completion, you becoming perfect, means you embracing your physical and your spiritual side. That's how you become the perfect men, the holy men, the whole men, not a half man. A lot of you guys out there are halves of, like some of you are half of halves. Y'all half and halves. You know what I'm saying? It's either you too academic, or if you calling spirituality and then you suppressing, which is not truly spirituality, and you have not truly become the one or holy, or you have not become perfect yet. And that's why the truth will set you free. Because in the world that we're living in, perfection has nothing to do with being flawless. In fact, for us to become better, you got to make more mistakes. That's how you sharpen yourself up. You sharpen up yourself. That's to create, to become the craftsman, or that craftsmanship. It's done through repetition. That's why you want to make mistakes, and your mistakes are not mistakes. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And this is what people are using to say, I am not perfect. Then now you start blaming yourself, whereas none of it is necessary. You're looking at yourself from a whole different, you're like all fucked up. It's not how much you see, but it's how you're looking at it. You're already looking at it from a fucked up perspective. No wonder why you're blind. And this is also revealing you don't even understand the world that you even living in. Then you want to talk about like heaven somewhere else? Nigga, that's delusional. That's crazy. Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Yo, spirituality does not make you stupid, man. Let me say this again. Spirituality has nothing to do with stupidity. Being stupid doesn't mean that, no, no. In fact, spirituality makes you the bright ones. I mean, that's why if you can't understand the world that you're living in right here, and then how the fuck do you expect to understand God's world? And ironically, you have to understand God's world to understand this world here. Do you see how this shit go? That's why you have to go inward. Your inner vision is your true vision. That's what you need to develop. But how do you develop that if you don't choose you? And by you choosing you, that's what's going to get you closer to God. That's why I can't dissociate God and me. Now, if you were to ask me, is he bigger than me? Yes, I feel it. But I also acknowledge, you know what? It's through me. That's why I am in the Father and the Father is in me. Again, those are level of understanding, not dogmas. Not Jesus said this or Buddha said this. I mean, yes, it came out of their own mouth. I mean, I wouldn't even, who cares? Even if it came out or didn't come out of his own fucking mouth. Do you get the gist? How is that knowledge benefiting you? And you niggas want to talk about certain text? You miss out the whole fucking point. And ironically, your own knowledge is fucking you up. Mm-mm-mm. And that's the worst type of fucking stupidity. It's the motherfucker who thinks he knows when he does not know. That's the worst stupidity of them all. I mean, it is what it is. That's the dangerous motherfucker. That's the motherfucker you should watch out for. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell you guys, man. If you're approaching this knowledge or from a historical perspective, you already fucked. And even when we're looking at history, that's why most people, and I get it, when they say this is his story, because we all know the victor writes, tells you what, how you get to see it from their perspective because they won. They are the victor, so you never know what the fuck the truth was. And this is what you're learning when you go to your school. Their story. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, as a result, you know what I'm saying? You already fucked. You fucked. So again, those spiritual languages, man. It's as you growing spiritually, and then you're gonna find yourself understanding them, truly, fully understanding them. Then now you realize, oh no, 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 this is a level of understanding. Or another way of saying that, and I believe I said it before, it was the your consciousness unfolding itself. So, anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it here. I just wanted to share this with you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna be a little more active. Because I've been chilling, baby. But you already know, I got a few things coming out for you guys, though. You know what I'm saying? When you don't see me, know I'm working. But anyway, with all of that being said, I hope I was able to share. You know what I'm saying? I was, because that's what we do here. We break bread with you. Oh, this is a holy communion. This is the supper. Hopefully, it's not gonna be the last. Well, it's not gonna be my last one. I can tell you this one. I can tell you this much. Not yet. Everything you ever wanted from me, you'll see it, and it will take place in your life, and then you'll see everything you didn't want from me taking place right in front of you, baby. Right in front of you. Don't worry. The prophecy must be fulfilled. How do you go against God? Disrespecting yourself. Don't you ever do that again. Anyway, again, this is what we do, man. Giving sights to the blind. And this is why, for me, it's always a pleasure. This is my reward. I got it already. I'm good. I'm well paid, well rewarded. But anyway, with all of that being said, always remember, you know, for you to be you, nobody else can be around. The minute there's somebody else, you stop existing, baby. So always be you. And always also remember too, man, like if you're true to you, you can never be false to nobody else. But if you're false to you, you can never be true to somebody else. Remember that. I sing. Mali.